Hi, I'm Andrea Freeland, and I'm the worship leader at PWC at JBLM, and I am making a video to show you how to do the signs for our song that we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's called At All Times. You see the words are right here. We have the chorus, and then we have verse 1, and we also have verse 2. So I'm going to show you first the chorus, because this element repeats several times. So the words are very simple. It's at all times, I will bless the Lord at all times. So the sign for at is you take your hand flat, your right hand flat, you hold your left hand out, and you use your middle finger with your hand flat to point at your wrist. And that's a sign for at. So you go at. The sign for all is you take your right hand on top, facing toward everyone. Your left hand's on the bottom, stationary, and you wrap it around, all. Swing your right hand around, all, and it smacks down on your left hand. One more time, all. So that's at, all. Now when you think of your time, you think of your watch, right? And that's the time, that's a sign for time. So, times. Just do it more than once to mean more than once. So it's at all times. All times. Now for I, you point to yourself. I will. And when you think of blessing, they're usually words from your mouth. So you take it from your mouth and you bring it out. I will bless. So let's do that again. I will bless. Who are we blessing? The Lord. So you hold your hand out like you're facing toward heaven, and you make it L. If you try to remember the left hand to the right hand thing, it makes the L. So L, Lord, at all times, and that's the same sign. At all times. So let's do the chorus again from the top. Are you ready? Okay. At all times, I will bless the Lord at all times. All times, I will bless the Lord at all times. And in the CD, or the song, she does this really cool O part with oohs. So you just take your hands and make double O's, and you just make them in circles. So it'd be O, O. It's a lot of fun. You could be artistic with it and go big, or you can make little small O's. It's up to you. Now, that right there is the chorus. That's how the song starts. Now, the next part of the song, we go to the verses. So we're not actually going to sign every single word, because that would be pretty busy. So we're just kind of getting the gist of each line, and that's what we're signing. Let's start with the first line. If you notice, it says echo, because each line echoes. So if you don't pick it up on the first one, the first time that Strong and Courageous is sang, and the second time they sing Strong and Courageous, you can go ahead and do that then. So here's the sign. It's strong and courageous. It's simply the sign for strong. So you go strong and courageous. And then it echoes, strong and courageous. Now for the line mighty in battle, you do mighty in battle. So that's mighty in battle. So let's go back to the first line. Strong and courageous, mighty in battle, and then it's He is fighting for us. So you point to Jesus because He's the one who's fighting. He's fighting. You make two fists, and your fists kind of hit at each other and opposing. He's fighting. So it's He's fighting for us. And the reason why we do it that way is you start with yourself. You're grabbing everybody in and you're bringing it back to yourself. So it's He's fighting for us. So let's start that again. Strong and courageous, mighty in battle. He's fighting for us. My favorite line. And we do this one several times, so it's good. I like this. It repeats here and it repeats here, so you'll see it again. The victory is ours. So victory. You bring your two hands and you smack them together, And then you go out with V's. Both hands have a V. So when you make the circles, you're circling the V's. The victory is ours, and ours is just like us, except you use your whole hand. Is ours. So it's the victory is ours. Let's do those 4 lines again. Strong and courageous, mighty in battle, he's fighting for us, the victory is ours. The next set of lines, put on, just like you're taking your hands, you're picking something else and you're putting it on. Put on your armor. Now there's really no sign for armor, it's really the sign for jacket, but it was the best we could come up with. And you know what it's to represent, so it works. So put on your armor, sword. It's like you have 2 fingers pointing out and your thumb points out. The rest of them are folded in. And it's like you're pulling out your sword. It's like it would be in a scabbard. You pull it out and hold it out. So it's sword of the Spirit. So it's sword. And when you do Spirit, you take your hand here and you have 2 fingers, your ring finger and your thumb kind of points up. And then this ring finger and your thumb, they grab the other ones and pull apart. Spirit. Okay, so it's sword of the Spirit. Let's do put on your armor again. Put on your armor, sword of the Spirit. Now this line, our weapon is worship. There really wasn't a translation for this. So instead of that, we say we fight with worship, because that's how we're offensively working. So we say, we fight with worship. Should be a with, sorry. We fight with worship. That one's a little tricky because you're not saying the same word you're signing. You do the fight again with, you take your 2 hands, make fists sideways, inside, facing, hit them together with, and worship is you take your hands, you lay your hand flat over the top of the other one, it grips it gently like this, and then you do it like you're praying. It's like a prayer, but instead of your fingers being up, they're gripping. Worship. So let's do that again. Put on your armor, sword of the Spirit. Our weapon is worship, and the victory is ours. The victory, which we've done before, is ours. Now it's shout out to Jesus, and you shout from your mouth. So you take, it's almost like you're doing a C, but just with 2 fingers. Put them up like this, and you're taking it from your mouth, and you're throwing that shout out there. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. Let's get that and try that. Shout out to Jesus. Jesus has nail scars in his hands. So you touch the one nail scar with the middle finger, and then you touch the other nail scar with the middle finger. So let's do those. Let's do these 4 lines together first, and then we'll go back to the beginning. Put on your armor, sword of the Spirit. Our weapon is worship. The victory is ours. Shout out to Jesus. Now let's do the whole verse together. You ready? Okay. Strong and courageous, mighty in battle, he's fighting for us. The victory is ours. Put on your armor, sword of the Spirit. Our weapon is worship. The victory is ours. Shout out to Jesus. And then it goes back to, do this with me, at all times, I will bless the Lord at all times. We are almost there. We are down to the last verse. We can do this thing. And the great thing about the last verse is it has repeating parts. So the sign for praise, it's just clapping your hands. You're praising, right? So you say, praise who? Jesus. Him. So you point to him with your whole hand. Praise him in the valley. So you're going to put your hand in. So let's do that again. Praise him in. And to make a valley, you're going to put your hands together like you're on the top of a mountain, and you're going to wave this. Actually, you go this way. Sorry. You make a valley. You have two mountains and you make a valley. I was going on a mountain. Let's do that again. Praise him in the valley. Now we're going to do praise him again. Praise him on the mountain. So you put your hands together and you make that mountain kind of wavy. I think my husband said you can go down both sides. However you want to sign mountain, just sign mountain. Praise him in the heavens. So you do it again.